everyone, it's your friend Think Noodles, and welcome to Ask Think episode number 153 for Monday, May 11th, 2015. And before you guys post in the comments below asking if I am sick, I'm a little under the weather. I'm on the mend, I think, but yesterday and also Saturday were like Saturday evening, not good days for me. But let's get started with the question I asked you guys last week. And it was, what's your favorite song and why? The first answer comes from Tyler Ettinger, and it says, for the question of the week, I would say Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. The reason why is because it feels like me every time I have sugar. XX Cat-tastical XX says, a song that fits my personality the best is the song Flaws by Bastille. One of the lines is, you wear your flaws upon your sleeves, and I've always been open about my weirdness and my craziness, and I'm not afraid to show my flaws. Meanwhile, the popular girls in my school act like they're so perfect. Miranda Renee says, the song that describes me best is Born This Way by Lady Gaga because I have always been seen as really weird and different, but it doesn't matter because I like the way I am. And guys, a lot of the answers were like this. A lot of the songs that you guys identified with were because you felt like you were unique. And I really, really loved that was what attracted you and made them your favorite song. Pinkius Piacus says, I would say Freaks Like Me, which is a new song from Dance Moms, and because it's about someone who stands out and is proud of it. Like me, I'm the banana in a crowd of apples. Eagle Productions says, the song that describes me best is Monster by Imagine Dragons because Spy Guy 982 says, a song that describes me is insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. Navy Phantom says, the song I think fits me is Project 46 by Monstercat. It's a good song to describe me because it starts out calm like me, because I'm shy and kind of quiet around some people, and then it gets really loud and hyper like me when I'm happy and around people I trust and know. Lexi Thibodeau says, the song that best expresses my personality is Perfect because I have really low self-esteem, especially now that I'm getting braces, rubber bands, and headgear. But when I listen to it, I just look at myself in the mirror and I say, I will be perfect to someone someday. And people make fun of me because I'm a twig and because of my ADHD medicine. Thanks anyway, Noodle on. And don't feel that way. Believe me, when I was young like you, and when I got braces and all stuff like that, and, there were times that I didn't feel really good about myself. But as I grew up, became more confident, and look where I am today. The D Boys says, the song that describes me is Harlem Shake. The reason for this is because like one tiny part of my body, the person that starts the dancing, wants to go crazy, and then boom, I'm all over the place. Artie Tigers says, well, I may as well answer my own question. So here it is. The song that would best describe my personality would be Wake Me Up by Avicii because it's pretty upbeat and joyful, and I'm quite an adventurous person who likes to try new things, so I feel like this song suits this. Frederick the Panda says, the song that describes my personality the most would be, well, if you know the 60s, you might know this, the Monkees theme song. And of course I know this song. I used to sing with my sister all the time. By the Monkees, it describes my personality because in the song they say, walking down the street, we get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the Monkees. Okay, and I do get awkward stares whenever I walk down the street, probably because I'm a little strange, kind of like them. Cookie Dough Channel says, I think ABC by the Jackson 5 describes me best because it is fun to listen to, it has a good beat, and a little weird, and because I am super duper smart, I have to explain a lot of things. That MC Nerd said, I would definitely choose White and Nerdy by Weird Al because, well, it says it all in the title and embracing it fully with their username there. Miyuki Stars said the song would be I'm Just Your Problem because I cause problems to other people. And then, well, a few people chose the song that I think describes me best. At least it's my favorite song currently or whatever, my personality. And it is Everything is awesome. And yeah, I just when I watched the Lego movie, I really enjoyed that song, and I just love the way that it's just so upbeat, and like even when things aren't awesome, he takes it as awesome. And even though things are just really like just everything is rather boring in what he does, he thinks it's awesome. So guys, for next week's question, it comes to us from Derpy Phoenix. And it's his question for next week: if you could own a small business, what would it be? And what would its name be and why? Great question, guys. So post that in the comments below. Now, before we get to the questions for me, don't forget to post your comments in the questions in the comments below. I always do that so I can have something to answer next week. Remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. And the first one comes to us from 1999 Blue, and it says, what did you do on Mother's Day? Well, I wasn't feeling all that well, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to go get a card for Kopi to give to my wife. But Kopi did a good job of wishing her mom a happy Mother's Day. But I went to my my wife's parents' house, my mother-in-law, and we went and had dinner with them. And I stayed away from everyone. I didn't touch anything or anyone else because I didn't want to get them sick. Okay, this has to do with a question where someone asked how old I was, and I gave you guys my birth date so that you would guess and do the calculations. And a lot of people got it wrong. I knew they would. But this one was really funny. It says Star Rocks 38, which isn't right. Ha! I have a caterer on my computer. Deal with it. and when I first read that, I was like, why does he have a caterer? Like, does he bring him food? Does he, like, what? And then I was like, oh wait, it's supposed to be a calculator. Gaming Bailey says, I've realized that lots of noodlers have not had a question to ask Think, but some have had like 3-in-1 episodes. Is this because you don't like the questions they have, or like the others better, or what? P.S. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. Thank you. No, that's why I always say, you can, leave a question in the comments below. You can leave as many comments as you like. Just put one question per comment, because way back, what people would do is they would put like 10 questions in one comment, and then I would like to answer one question, but then they had 10 there, and I kind of felt like I had to read all of them. So if you have 10 questions, go ahead and post 10 comments. And if you have good questions that I have not answered before, or I haven't answered in a long time, or I think are interesting, then you could get, theoretically 10 questions in one video. PC Man 18 says, if you could choose between a MacBook, MacBook Pro, or MacBook Air, what would you choose? Well, so I don't have a laptop. I have an iMac, and I think the next computer I get might, I don't know, a Mac Pro. I'm not sure. I mean, not the current generation. It depends on what they upgrade them to, but we'll see. But anyway, my wife has a MacBook Air, and it works really well for her. It plays Minecraft well enough and everything. But I mean, I like the portability of the MacBook Air, and the new MacBook is really thin, but I feel like if it was something that I was going to be using for video editing and stuff, I'd really need a MacBook Pro for the power. The next few people reference, well, in a way, my Draw My Life video. And if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. I made it way back when I got 100,000 subscribers. I mean, not like, it's not like anything in the story has changed, obviously, because, those things already happened. But yeah, it answers the question of where did my wife and I get married? And yes, obviously I made a Draw My Life video. And to answer the question about my wife's hair, because it was really long, she cut it about 7 years ago. She cut her hair just because being a physician, she just thought that it became distracting to the patients, that they wouldn't pay attention to her. And also she got worried that if she were with patients that were in the emergency room and they weren't maybe they were because when she was in the city, she was treating some people who lived on the streets, like homeless people, and sometimes they come in to the emergency room because they need medical attention, and they may have lice or something like that, and in hair that long, it would have been devastating, so she cut it. Wolf DeWolf asks, do you have an original skin? Did you make it? If so, how or where did you make it? Thank you, first of all. And second of all, yes, I did make it. And that's why it's original. I started from scratch. I don't even remember the tool that I got to create it. It was just a small Java application that worked on PCs and Mac. And it was called like Skin Creator 2 Java or something like that. And it just shows like a Minecraft character, and this was before it was only a hat layer, right? We didn't have the sleeve layers and the pants layers and stuff like we do now in 1.8. But and it just had like a white. You would just load a white flat character, just no pixels on it, and then you start painting in the pixels where you wanted things to go. And I spent it was on vacation. We were on vacation, and I had a laptop. And I probably spent about, I don't even know, but I spent, anytime I had some extra time on the plane or something like that, I would just go and start editing and playing with it until I found what I liked. And it took me quite a few days, probably, on and off for 2 weeks before I finally settled on it. Mario Plush asks, is there an easy way to get your skin? And yes, there is. If you go into the description, go to my website, it's thinknoodles.me, and you can download the skin right there. Cassie Man says, hey Think, when you were in high school and had a test, when you got the test back, did you hide the test or show it to your friends? Because there are people in my class who show off their grade even though it was bad, or I see kids as soon as they get it, shove it into their binder as fast as possible. I was one of the kids that kind of hid it. Not because it was a bad grade or necessarily a really good grade. It was just, I don't know. It was like this. So if it was a bad grade, obviously I would be embarrassed that I got a bad grade. I wouldn't want anyone to see it. But also if I got a good grade, I was worried that if my friends got a bad grade, I didn't want them to feel bad if they looked at mine and said, oh man, you did so much better than me. So I just always hid it. Carmen Crockford asks, Think, how many tissue boxes do you have? And that is a completely random question. And I actually picked this out before I got sick. So I'll just answer it this way. I have one less than we did before. But when I picked out this question, I think we have, well, in the house, our apartment is small. We just have one open at any one time. But in our, where we keep our, I guess, paper products, we have one less tissue box now. Crystal Miner 2364 AJ asks, how big is your TV? Mine is a flat screen, wall mounted 50 inch. Well, I used to have a flat screen wall mounted 50 inch, but I bought it a long time ago. Well, before some of you were born, obviously only some of you, but the TV, I just got a new one about 4 months ago. And I think the TV I originally bought, the 50 inch that I had bought was a plasma, and it was only 720p, and I think I bought it in 2003, maybe? Yeah, I think it was, no, was it? No, come on, no, it was 2005. But the new one that I bought is a 55-inch OLED TV, and I love it so much. It's amazing. Skate Thunder says, why did you assume that everybody likes Star Wars? I didn't. It's just that I like Star Wars. It was May the 4th, and Star Wars is coming out this year, and I figured I would do a Star Wars themed episode. That when I do a Think Slab or something like that, it's because I'm interested in it, and it doesn't mean that I expect that everybody's gonna like the movie. Or, for example, over the weekend I did the Doctor Who episode, and some people don't like Doctor Who, some people don't know anything about the Doctor or anything like that, and I didn't assume that everybody did. It's just that I know that a lot of you do like it, and eventually I am gonna do a My Little Pony Think Slab. I don't know when, but eventually I will, and I know that a lot of, some of you like it and some of you don't, but it's not that I'm assuming that everybody likes it. Sam Slaughter asks, when you like a video, does it show on your YouTube page? Yes, I have it set so that when I do click the like button, it shows up in my feed. And the reason I do that is because if you guys make a video that I find really, really good, I will click the like button so that other noodlers can see it. And then Love Pillows asks, why do you like all of your own videos? Please answer this. And the reason for that is because of YouTube's inconsistencies with the subscription boxes. A lot of times I'll put out a video and it doesn't go out to everyone. It just doesn't show up. I mean, I've seen it on my wife's account. She subscribes to my channel, and I can see and I think she subscribed. I think I also made her subscribe to Dan. Anyway, she doesn't really use it much, but I've looked at it and I've seen where I've uploaded a video, it doesn't show up. But I found that if I go ahead and make sure that I add it to a playlist and I click the like button on my own video, it shows up every single time. And I think it like triggers something in YouTube's system that says, okay, this YouTuber has gone and performed 3 actions on this video. Well, actually 4, right? Published the video, liked it, put it in a playlist. What's the last? No, maybe that's 3 things. Okay, so publish the video, put it into a playlist, and like the video, right? And maybe commented, right? All those things will make it more likely to go in the subscribers' feeds. Novacat asks, will you upload more than 1 video a day in the summer? Well, I mean, I already do a little bit on, I guess, so it's Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I usually upload always upload 2 videos a day on Thursdays, always upload 2 videos a day on Sundays. And lately I've been uploading 2 videos a day on Saturdays. But yeah, on the weekdays I probably will. I'm not going to commit to like, yes, I'm going to upload 2 videos every single day. I'm not going to commit to that, but I'll probably be uploading more videos because you guys are around to watch them. Sarah Jane asks, do you watch Doctor Who? If so, have you watched both old Who and new Who? And have you seen season 8? These questions started to bug me because you uploaded your Doctor Who mod video. Thanks, and of course, Noodle on. Well, okay. I don't watch it a lot. I have watched a few episodes, and I just don't have a lot of time to watch TV. But I did like the episodes that I watched, and I think I started. I don't know what season I started in. It's on Netflix. I don't remember what season it was. It was a season that I asked on Twitter. I asked, which season should I start with? And most people said that season, whatever it was. And I think it was the first season with the new Doctor Who, I think. But yeah, I've watched a few episodes, but not enough to have learned everything that I needed to know for the Things Lab. So I did a ton of research and made sure that I got everything right. I mean, I think a few things I got wrong. But very minimal, and I think I did a pretty good job making the Whovians happy. Sieda Faisal Fahim says, hey, do the I Want Think Noodles account video again. You have almost 800,000 subs. There's really no reason for it. The person who has the Think Noodles Minecraft account, I don't think plays Minecraft anymore, and I don't think they're on YouTube anymore, or at least they're not a subscriber. Or they don't watch my videos anymore, and they don't really care. I tried, I think, twice now, and there's no reason to try for a 3rd time. It's not going to happen, and I'm okay with that. At this point, I mean, if you think about it, I've got my Minecon cape on the Real Think Noodles account, and when I get my Minecon 2015 cape, it's going on that account too, and if I were to get the other account, I wouldn't have a cape, so, it's fine. Annie Tran asks, hey, do you pick minions randomly? Yes, the way that I pick the minions is I just go through the comments. Like I'll just bring up all like on the all comments page in my video manager. I just bring up all the comments more all the way, and then I just scroll up and down like with my trackpad, and I just let go, and then wherever the mouse lands is the one I pick. Of course, if that comment is not a minion, or they don't, the comment just says, I want a minion named Annie Girl, right? If it just says that and there's not a constructive comment about a future idea or a part that they liked or anything like that, then I do the same thing again. Lily Darling asks, what are you doing this summer? Any trips? Well, we are going to go to Grand Cayman at the end of June. Not that almost the last week of June, but not quite. And then after that, I'm not really sure because my wife is starting her fellowship, and we're really not sure how the vacation works there. So, I mean, of course, we'll take weekend trips and things like that, of course. But as far as like vacation, not really sure. We also might be moving. I mean, not out of New York, but we might be moving to a new apartment. We'll see. But you know, this apartment's so small. We just have to find the right place, and we might. But yeah, that's really all we have planned for the summer. Eagle Crew 97 says for 800,000 subs. Actually, that's 8 million subs. But anyway, you should do a setup tour. Well, the thing is that I did a setup tour, sort of, for 50,000 subscribers, I think it was. And not a lot has changed. I'm still sitting in my living room with a microphone on a boom and an iMac in front of me. I think I even had the same mouse. I don't think much has really changed at all since that video. At some point when I do get an office, hopefully, like I said, maybe we'll move and I'll have an office. If that happens, then yeah, I'll update you guys. Carson Smith says, all right, I've had enough. Uh-oh. Oh, our school food is disgusting. My friend got served burnt potatoes, and so did everyone else. One kid found a fingernail in his macaroni. The pizza isn't even real pizza. It's a piece of undercooked bread with olive oil and cheap cheese, and it's just not good. My question is, were the school lunches at least tasty at all when you were a kid, or did you just bring a lunch? Okay, so when I lived in Indonesia, the school lunches were really good. They had like a full on, it's like, so when we were in Indonesia, we didn't have like, you would go and you had like, I mean, it was a cafeteria still, but things were made to order. Like you could, they had, well, I mean, somewhat, I guess, but it was really good. Anyway, but yeah, you could go and you could choose like kind of on a menu. Like you would go to the cashier and say, oh, I want this, this, and this. And then you bring your ticket and they would make it for you. Somewhat fresh, I guess. I mean, obviously they were making them in larger batches, but it was good. The food was great. Now, when I came back to the US, to California for my junior and senior year, I honestly cannot recall ever eating, I don't even know that I'm sure we had one, but I don't recall ever eating the food in the school at all. I brought a lunch every day. And I can't even think of where it was. I don't know that we must have had one, but no, I never went to it. So I guess it's a bit of both. Derby Turtle asked, have you ever been to Long Island? Yes, of course. You know, it's a short drive from here in the city, and we go to Jones Beach for concerts. Yeah, it's there are reasons to go out to Long Island, just like Long Islanders have reasons to come into the city. Lucas Balastracci asks, what route do you walk Kopi on? Whatever route she wants to walk on. Kopi is very, she's particular. And it depends on her mood. We'll just, we'll walk one way, one day we'll walk a certain way. And we always find a pet store somehow. and not because of me, because Kopi leads me to a pet store. She loves going into pet stores because she always gets treats and stuff, and not even because I buy her something. It's just like every employee in a pet store has treats in their pocket. She knows it, so she always drags me to some pet store. But yeah, it'll depend. Well, sometimes we'll walk down Broadway, and she'll be fine just walking straight down Broadway. But then she'll decide, the next day that we go and we're walking the same route, all of a sudden she'll just decide, oh, I want to walk on this street. We're not walking on Broadway anymore, and then we're gonna go, then we're gonna go down Fifth or something like that. And it really depends on her mood. And when you've got a 60-pound dog that doesn't want to go the way you want to go, and she knows how to use her weight against you, you kind of just have to follow her. Hey, it's Sheep says, do you plan on having children to spread the joy of gaming? Of course we do. But my wife is just graduating her residency, so we're going to see how fellowship goes for her, how much time she has, because with our lives currently, it wouldn't be fair to a kid. Neither of us currently have time, but to be good parents. But when she's in her fellowship, I think that she's going to have a lot more time at home, and then we might. Dylan Scheck Snyder says, NVIDIA or AMD? And, well, I mean, I don't know. I think so the last two iMacs I've had have both been NVIDIA. So I guess I would say NVIDIA, because and I've got a 780M in mine now. And I really would love a 980, but like a 980 desktop, but I don't know much about the AMD models. Minecraft Lover asks, were you ever allowed to drink soda as a kid? Yes, I was. And I remember I had a friend, and I remember he was Mormon. And I didn't really know, well, I mean, I kind of knew what that meant. I knew it was a religious thing, but I didn't know a lot about Mormons. And he was a friend of mine, and we used to go fishing and stuff, and he would always come over to my house, and he would drink all of our Coca-Cola. And and I didn't know that he wasn't allowed to because it's got caffeine in it. And I think, I mean, I could be wrong but I think they're not allowed to drink caffeine. So yeah, he would come over and drink all of our soda, and he was like, oh, you guys are so lucky you get to drink soda. My parents won't buy soda. And I thought it was just, his parents didn't like the sugar, but apparently it had to do with his religion, and I was contributing to delinquency in his religion, or I don't think he called it delinquency, but I didn't know. And my mom actually, his parents, because I think that he would go home hyper, and his parents asked, are you giving him like sugary sodas or anything? My mom's like, oh, he drinks all our Coke. I'm like, oh, so he couldn't come over anymore after that. Ivan Bunny asks, what texture pack did you use for the Star Wars video? That is the Mine Wars texture pack. Joelio Waugaman asks, hey, Vink, how many minions do you have? I haven't really counted, but I'd say there's around 125 or so, give or take 10. Swordmaster 164 says, in Things Lab, why do the minions go to school and you treat them like your kids? They're grown up. No, they're not. They're not. They are my kids. Just because in the Despicable Me series, they're grown up and do their own thing. My minions, because they're mine, even though they take inspiration from the Despicable Me minions, I like to think of them as kids. Raptor1 says, in Pixelmon, will you catch all the legendary birds? I hope so. I've got 2 out of 3, and I know James found Moltres, and I have not watched his video, so I need to know where that biome is, because that's actually a biome I've never seen in Minecraft, the Mesa biome. I think it's in Mesa, right? Yeah, I think it is. So I need to find out where that biome is, and I'll go and look around it, because I think that the map that we use is large biomes. So if I go far enough in the Mesa biome, I might find another shrine. And then, yeah, if so, definitely. Mint does Minecraft says, I know it's been a long time since you did a video on Hexit. Could you bring it back? I loved when you did it, and I don't really understand why you stopped the series and you could still do cool stuff. Did you watch the last episode? The reason that I stopped playing it is because I had gotten so overpowered. And I'd done nearly everything. I mean, I'd gotten to the end game of even the Chocobos. There really wasn't anything else for me to accomplish or conquer. So I ended the series. Mad Creeper 435MC says, what do you do to show your location or biome on a Mac? Well, I actually have it set to one of the little middle mouse buttons that's behind my scroll wheel. To toggle it on and off, just because it's quick access. But on a Mac, it's the same key as it is for PC. It's F3 on your keyboard, but you have to hold down the function key first. Purple Cupcake 111 says, here are the steps to be just like Think. 1, you have to like noodles. 2, you need to be a banana. 3, wait, a banana? No, Kevin, stop! Don't eat Think. Cute. All right, guys, that is it for this episode of Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. Also, don't forget to pick up those chopsticks and poke that like button as hard as you can. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and of course, Noodle on!